Hello and welcome everyone. Before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever tried to reach an agreement with someone and felt unsure whether you were negotiating or just bargaining for a better deal? Today's lecture is going to clear that confusion completely. We are going to explore two very important words in the English language and in real-life communication: negotiate and bargain. These two words are often used as if they mean the same thing, but in reality they carry different meanings, different levels of communication, and different emotional and professional depth. Understanding the difference between them will not only improve your vocabulary but also improve your communication skills in business, relationships, travel, and daily life situations. Let us begin with the word negotiate. The word negotiate refers to a formal or informal discussion between two or more people who are trying to reach a mutually acceptable agreement. Negotiation is not just about price or money. It is about understanding needs, exchanging ideas, making compromises, and finding a solution that benefits both sides. Negotiation is a process of communication where respect, strategy, patience, and reasoning play an important role. When people negotiate, they are not simply trying to win. Instead, they are trying to find balance. Negotiation can happen in business deals, political discussions, job offers, salary discussions, peace talks, family decisions, and even everyday life situations where two people have different opinions but want to reach a common ground. Negotiation is often slow and thoughtful. It requires listening carefully to the other person, understanding their needs, and then presenting your own needs in a clear and reasonable way. A good negotiator does not rush. A good negotiator builds trust, uses logic, and tries to create value for both sides. Now let us understand the word bargain. The word bargain is more focused on price, exchange, and getting a better deal. When people bargain, they usually try to reduce the price of something or increase what they receive in exchange. Bargaining is more common in marketplaces, shopping situations, street markets, flea markets, and informal buying and selling environments. Bargaining is usually quicker than negotiation. It is more direct and often more emotional. People bargain when they feel the price is too high or when they believe they can get a better deal through persuasion or pressure. Bargaining does not always focus on long-term relationships or mutual benefit. Instead, it focuses on immediate advantage. However, it is important to understand that bargaining is also a form of negotiation, but a simpler and more limited version of it. Bargaining usually deals with price and quantity, while negotiation deals with broader terms and conditions. Now let us go deeper into the difference between negotiate and bargain so that you can clearly understand how to use them in real life. Negotiation is a structured process. It involves planning, communication, understanding interests, and finding solutions. Bargaining is more spontaneous. It happens quickly and is usually centered around cost. Negotiation can happen without money involved. Bargaining almost always involves money or material exchange. For example, when a company is hiring an employee and they discuss salary, job responsibilities, working hours, and benefits, that is negotiation. But when you go to a local market and ask the shopkeeper to lower the price of a shirt, that is bargaining. Negotiation is often used in professional and serious contexts. Bargaining is often used in casual and everyday contexts. Now let us explore the word negotiate in more detail with 5 clear and natural examples that will help you understand its usage deeply. First example of negotiate. A company negotiates a contract with a supplier to ensure timely delivery and fair pricing for raw materials. In this sentence, negotiate is used because both parties are discussing terms that go beyond just price. They are working on delivery schedules, quality standards, and long-term cooperation. Second example of negotiate. The employee negotiates a higher salary after receiving a job offer because of his experience and skills. Here negotiation is about value, contribution, and mutual agreement between employer and employee. Third example of negotiate. The government negotiates with international leaders to reduce trade restrictions and improve economic relations. In this case, negotiation is happening at a very high level where diplomacy, strategy, and national interest are involved. Fourth example of negotiate. She negotiates with her parents to extend her study time before dinner so she can complete her homework properly. This shows that negotiation is not only professional but also part of daily life where people try to find balance in personal relationships. Fifth example of negotiate. The team negotiates the project deadline with their manager because unexpected technical issues caused delays. Here negotiation is about adjusting expectations and finding a realistic solution that works for everyone involved. Now let us move to the word bargain in detail and understand its usage through 5 clear examples. First example of bargain. He bargains with the street vendor to lower the price of fresh fruits at the local market. This is a typical situation where bargaining happens because prices are flexible and not fixed. Second example of bargain. She bargains for a better price when buying clothes during a seasonal sale at a shopping mall. Even in modern shopping environments, people still bargain when discounts are possible or when multiple items are purchased. Third example of bargain. The tourist bargains with the taxi driver to reduce the fare before starting the journey. This is a common real-life situation in many places where transportation fares are not strictly fixed. Fourth example of bargain. They bargain for extra items when purchasing electronics from a small shop, asking for accessories like chargers or cases to be included without extra cost. This shows bargaining is not always about reducing price but also about increasing value. Fifth example of bargain. The customer bargains hard and finally buys the furniture at a much lower price than originally asked. This reflects the goal of bargaining, which is to get the best possible deal in a direct and immediate transaction. Now that we have explored both words with examples, let us go deeper into how they function in communication and why understanding the difference is important. Negotiation is about building relationships. When you negotiate well, you are not just getting what you want, you are also maintaining respect and trust with the other person. This is why negotiation is widely used in business environments. Companies prefer negotiation because it allows long-term cooperation and reduces conflict. Bargaining, on the other hand, is more transactional. It is about the present moment and the immediate deal. Once the bargain is done, the interaction often ends. There is less focus on future relationships and more focus on current benefit. Negotiation requires emotional intelligence. You must understand the other person's feelings, needs, and limitations. You must also control your own emotions and avoid rushing. Bargaining often involves quick thinking, confidence, and persuasive speech. It can sometimes involve pressure or repeated requests to lower a price. Another important difference is flexibility. In negotiation, multiple factors can change, such as deadlines, responsibilities, and conditions. In bargaining, the main focus is usually price or quantity, so there is less flexibility in areas outside of that. Let us now imagine a real-life scenario where both words can be compared clearly. You go to buy a car. When you sit with the dealer and discuss price, financing options, warranty, service plan, and delivery date, you are negotiating. You are discussing several important terms that shape the entire agreement. However, when you go to a local shop to buy a second-hand bicycle and you try to reduce the price from what the seller is asking, that is bargaining. You are focusing mainly on price and trying to reach a better deal quickly. This shows that context decides the word we use. Another important point is that negotiation can include bargaining inside it. During a negotiation, there may be moments where price is discussed and adjusted, which becomes a form of bargaining. But bargaining alone does not usually expand into deeper negotiation. Let us now explore some deeper characteristics of a good negotiator compared to a good bargainer. A good negotiator is patient. They listen more than they speak. They understand both sides. They aim for fairness and long-term success. They use logic, reasoning, and clear communication. A good bargainer is confident. They are not afraid to ask for lower prices. They know how to persuade quickly. They are alert and aware of market value. They focus on immediate savings and practical gain. In daily life, both skills are useful. Negotiation helps in jobs, relationships, business deals, and problem solving. Bargaining helps in shopping, travel, and everyday purchases where price flexibility exists. Now let us expand further and understand how these words appear in natural English communication. The word negotiate is often used with expressions like negotiate a deal, negotiate terms, negotiate salary, or negotiate agreement. It is formal but also widely used in professional writing and speaking. The word bargain is often used with expressions like bargain for price, bargain with seller, good bargain, or bargain hard. It is informal and commonly used in spoken English. Understanding these patterns helps you sound more natural when speaking English. Let us reflect again on the key idea. Negotiation is about creating agreement through communication and understanding. Bargaining is about getting the best possible price or value in a transaction. Both are important, both are useful, but they are not the same. If you want to improve your communication skills, learning how to negotiate will help you in your career and personal life. If you want to become a smart shopper, learning how to bargain will help you save money and get better deals. To summarize this lecture in your mind, always remember this simple idea. Negotiation is broader and deeper. Bargaining is narrower and more focused on price. Before we end, let us quickly revisit the essence of both words one more time in a natural flow. When two people sit together to solve a problem, share ideas, and reach a mutual agreement, they negotiate. When a buyer tries to reduce the price of a product offered by a seller, they bargain. Negotiation builds bridges. Bargaining adjusts numbers. Now I want you to think about your own life experiences. Have you ever negotiated something important like a job offer or a family decision? Have you ever bargained in a market to save money? Understanding these words is not just about language learning. It is about understanding human interaction, communication styles, and decision making. Thank you for listening to this lecture.